The fog rolled over the Appalachian Ridge like a living thing, swallowing the trees, the winding paths, and everything that dared to exist beneath it. Locals called it the Mourning Mist, a name whispered with a kind of tired fear, as though even speaking it aloud stirred something ancient. Outsiders dismissed these stories as mountain folklore, the sort of legends rural people used to entertain themselves on long, quiet nights. But for the people who lived in Briar Hollow, they were not legends. They were warnings. Avery Collins, a 29-year-old documentary researcher, never believed in hauntings, curses, or the old spirits of the Appalachians. She grew up in cities, places full of noise and concrete, where ghosts were metaphors and monsters lived inside overactive imaginations. She was practical, skeptical, and confident, qualities that made her good at her job. But when a rare letter from her long-lost grandmother arrived with only 8 shaky words, "Don't let the mountains take you like they took us," it uprooted everything she believed. Her grandmother had disappeared from public record decades ago. No death certificate. No forwarding address. Nothing. Avery's mother never spoke about her family, and Avery had learned not to ask. But this letter contained a return address, Briar Hollow, West Virginia, a place Avery had never visited, never even heard of. She should have ignored it. She should have thrown it away. But something, curiosity, guilt, a longing she didn't know she had, pulled her toward those mountains. The drive into Briar Hollow felt like entering a world separate from the rest of the country. The roads narrowed until they were barely more than gravel-lined veins cutting between endless trees. Signals died. The air grew heavier, thicker. Every few minutes, Avery swore she saw figures between the trees. Just shadows, she told herself, just the way fog played tricks on human eyes. The town appeared suddenly, as if the forest spit it out reluctantly. Wooden houses sagged with time, porches leaned, and lanterns, not modern streetlights, glowed along the dirt roads. People paused to watch her car rumble past, their expressions unreadable, wary, almost sad. The innkeeper, an elderly man with pale eyes, didn't ask many questions. He simply handed Avery a key and murmured, "If you're looking for the Collins place, wait until daylight." "Why?" she asked. He looked at her like she already knew. "Because the hollow remembers at night, and it don't take kindly to strangers." She slept poorly, awakening often to faint whistling drifting through the open window, low, trembling notes that didn't sound like wind. Each time she rose to look outside, the sound stopped. Once, she swore she saw a figure standing in the road, a woman in an old-fashioned dress, her face hidden by long hair, vanishing in the blink of an eye. But Avery wasn't here for ghost stories. She was here for answers. The Collins house. The next morning, she followed a dirt path up a steep slope until it ended at an old 2-story cabin swallowed by vines and moss, the kind of place time had forgotten. The windows were clouded. The door hung crooked. The air outside the house was unnaturally cold, even under the rising sun. Inside, the floor groaned beneath her steps. Dust covered everything except the fireplace mantel, where a handful of items had been cleared as though someone had recently stood there. A silver locket, a faded journal, a cracked photograph of a woman who looked eerily like Avery, same eyes, same cheekbones, standing beside 3 other people whose faces had been scratched out violently. A chill ran up her spine. She opened the journal. The entries were frantic, scattered. They whisper in the trees. The souls trapped in the fog. The mountains want us back. I can hear them calling my blood. Then the last entry, written with shaky pressure. If anyone finds this, run. Don't listen to them. Don't follow the voices in the mist. We were wrong to come back here. A floorboard creaked behind her. Avery turned. A woman stood in the hallway, tall, thin, hair falling in tangled strands around a gaunt face. Her skin looked gray, her lips colorless. But what struck Avery most were the eyes, familiar, soft, sorrowful. "Grandma?" Avery whispered. The woman raised a trembling hand, pointing toward the window. Her voice scraped the air like a broken violin. "They're coming." And just like that, she vanished. Not walked away. Not faded. Gone. The mist outside the window thickened, curling upward like fingers. The lost souls. Avery wasn't sure when she began running. only that something primal screamed inside her to leave the house, to leave the mountain, to leave everything behind. But when she reached the treeline, the path she came up had vanished beneath a blanket of fog so dense it felt solid. The air trembled. Soft voices echoed through the mist, hundreds of them, layered on top of each other like overlapping radio signals. Some wept. Some whispered her name. Some pleaded for help. Avery's blood turned to ice. Shapes began to form inside the fog, silhouettes drifting between the trees. Men, women, children. Their clothes wrong for the era, spanning decades. Their faces blurred, features shifting like melting wax. Eyes hollow, fingers elongated, bodies weighed down by invisible chains. One stepped forward, reaching toward her. His jaw hung broken. His voice was a gurgling rasp. "Help us, don't let us fade." Another voice, a child's, whispered beside her ear though no one stood there. "They won't let you leave. Not if the mountain wants you." Avery stumbled backward, her breath shaking. "What do you want from me?" The voices answered in unison, a chilling, echoing chorus. "To remember. To return. To stay." And then, silence. A figure emerged from the mist behind them. Tall. Wrongly tall. A black silhouette with bending limbs, its head turning with a sharp crack. The lost souls recoiled from it like frightened animals. Avery's heart stopped. The creature stepped closer, its shape distorting, bending, unfolding. The fog thickened around it like a cloak. A whisper slithered into her mind. "You are mine by blood. The mountain's claim." Avery ran. Branches clawed at her arms. Roots snatched at her feet. The voices followed, some pleading, some screaming. The creature moved without sound, appearing in front of her, behind her, beside her, always watching, always waiting. She burst from the woods and collapsed in front of the inn. The innkeeper and 2 townspeople rushed to her, their faces filled not with surprise, but resignation. She saw them, the innkeeper said. Avery grabbed his shirt. "What are they?" "Lost souls," he murmured. "This mountain keeps what dies here, and what belongs to it. Bloodlines don't break easily." "My grandmother," Avery gasped. "I saw her. She spoke to me." The innkeeper's voice softened. "Your grandmother didn't leave the hollow, child. She died here. The mountain took her." Avery shook her head violently. "No, she was alive. I saw her. She spoke to me." "That wasn't the living," the woman beside him whispered. "The dead can still wear the faces they remember." Avery's stomach twisted. The world swayed. The innkeeper took a slow breath. "You need to leave. Now." "I tried," Avery cried. "The mountain, it won't let me." Silence fell. The woman stepped closer, her eyes filled with fear. "It won't. Not while it still thinks you're one of them." "One of who?" "The Collins bloodline," she whispered. "The ones who first angered the spirits. The ones the mountain claimed." Avery felt the world closing around her. "I'm not staying here. I'm getting out." "Then you'll have to do what your grandmother couldn't," the innkeeper said quietly. "You'll have to free the souls." The mountain came alive at night. The fog glowed faintly, like moonlit smoke. Whispers echoed across the valley. The lost souls wandered restlessly, searching for warmth, for memory, for freedom. Avery returned to the Collins house armed with lanterns, salt, a rope, and the journal. She didn't believe in rituals, but she believed in survival. Inside the house, the temperature dropped instantly. Frost crackled along the walls despite the fireplace being cold for years. She stood before the mantel and opened the journal to the page describing the old ritual, the one her grandmother had attempted before disappearing. To break the tether. Name the lost. Call the forgotten. Light the path. Refuse the mountain. Outside, something massive moved through the trees. Avery lit the lanterns and placed them at the windows. "Name the lost," she whispered. "Right." She lifted the photograph with the scratched faces. "Grandma Eleanor Collins, I remember you." The fog outside shifted. She spoke the name again, louder. "Eleanor Collins." A soft voice responded. "Avery." Her grandmother's spirit appeared near the doorway, flickering like a candle in wind. "You shouldn't have come back," she whispered. "But now that you have, you must finish this." "How?" "You must refuse the mountain. It can't take what doesn't surrender." The creature outside slammed against the wall, causing the entire house to tremble. Avery shouted. I refuse you. I refuse the mountain. I refuse the curse. The lost souls screamed in unison. The creature burst through the window, tall, twisted, dripping with fog. Its many limbs crawled along the ceiling, its hollow eyes fixed on her. Avery grabbed the lantern and hurled it at the creature. Flame exploded across its form, lighting the fog like oil. The creature shrieked, a sound like tearing metal. But it didn't die. It lunged. A cold hand gripped Avery's arm, her grandmother's spirit pulling her backward. Now, Avery. Finish it. I don't know how. Say the last line. Avery screamed into the roaring fog. The mountain does not own me. The creature convulsed, its form fracturing like shattered glass. The lost soul screamed, then suddenly, silence. The fog sucked inward like a collapsing lung. One by one, the spirits flickered, then vanished like fading sparks. Her grandmother smiled, a soft, sad smile. I'm free, Avery. We all are. Don't leave me, Avery whispered. My time ended long ago. Yours is beginning. A bright light consumed her spirit, and she was gone. The world went quiet. The fog lifted. Avery collapsed to her knees as dawn broke over the ridge. She had survived. The mountain had lost. By morning, the town felt different, lighter, freer. People stepped outside their homes with cautious expressions, noticing the absence of the oppressive weight that had hung over them for decades. You freed them, the innkeeper said. You freed us all. Avery left Briar Hollow that afternoon, driving until the mountains were nothing but a distant memory in her rearview mirror. But some nights, even far from Appalachia, when the world is quiet and the moon hangs low, she hears a soft whisper in the dark. Her grandmother's voice. Not haunting, just watching. And somewhere deep in the mountains, a creature with hollow eyes drifts alone, its curse broken, but its hunger eternal. Because the Appalachians never truly let go. They simply wait.